Yo, welcome back. Yeah, my internet got completely cut off and I had to reboot my computer and everything. But yeah, I mean, halfway the show. So this is just gonna be part B. And I hope that people will find this stream. Right. So yeah, that was a bit abrupt. What were we talking about? I don't remember. Anyway, if that other chat is still kind of open out there, please tell them there's a new stream, if possible. No, it's not just you and me. The others will find me. Can't get back. Oh, okay. Just share the show. Welcome back, Tarot 306. What happened? Yeah, my internet died. I literally wrote it down there in the chat, Tarot. I had to completely restart my computer and everything. So, yeah. But I mean, I'm back. Hopefully the rest will find me too. Ask that after reading and listen. Yeah, type first, read later. Yeah, no, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Anyway, hope you guys are having a good time though. It's gonna be weekend anyway. I mean, it is Friday, right? Yeah. Oh, man, by the way, that tree over there, let me see if I can pick it up. I mean, it's really starting to blossom. It's great. Can you see that? I guess there's like a slight pinkish haze starting to appear over it. You can't really distinguish the flowers yet, but you're starting to see there's some pinkish color on it. But I mean, the spring is here, man. I'm so like glad. I just feel very glad and very happy, which is a fun contrast with like, spring is there again. Now everybody's happy, so I feel how miserable I am. So happy I'm not that anymore. That's all in the past. Like I don't have, it's not the default anymore. I can barely believe it, but it's true. It's like, yeah, I'm allowed to now just enjoy life. Finally. whatever's left of it. Also, for some reason, like that, I got this song stuck in my head, a part of it that it's like from Monty Python's Holy Grail. It's at the end, like one of the last scenes. They basically approach the castle and like over the island. They have this beautiful shots with this really impressive classical music that like end of the journey, is it finally gonna be fulfilled type of music, classical style, really impressive. But it's almost out of place there. It's such a good piece. It doesn't really lead, it just leads to the next joke though, like, oh, it was the French that were in there all along, right? And then yeah, but that song is like so impressive that it just keeps echoing on, like separate from the entire movie context. I keep like hearing it in my head. Like this epic, bombastic, mysterious theme. And in the past that's happened too, but then I would always just be frustrated. Why did they put such a great song in there and then basically kind of end with a weird dud? Like, it ruined it for me. But now I can literally like compartmentalize it and just make it into its own universe, so I don't have to directly associate it with the disappointment of it not really having a point being there too much. Although there was some of it, because when does it happen? Upon finding the Holy Grail. Where do they find the Holy Grail? With the French. So did they put that epic song in there as like a tribute to their occult knowledge that they acquired even back then about Christ? That it might have actually been in southern France and all that. Is that what they hinted at in Monty Python's Holy Grail? Is that why they put that amazing song in there with such a silly seeming reveal? Right? What do you guys think? Maybe you never looked at Monty Python's Holy Grail like that before. Because I think there's a whole bunch of very serious occulted research things that are just placed in between the comedy very effectively. And the comedy pulls you forth, but there is like another layer of information. The music was just library music? Okay, it was a great piece of library music then. That was just standard? Really? Why had I never heard it before anywhere else then? That's so odd. Or Uncle Womble. You have any example where in what other movie that has been used? The Wolfie music? Okay. Interesting. I didn't know that. Is that a German music company? Seems like a German name. Maybe, I don't know. Whatever. Okay, that's a weird fact that I didn't expect to pop up, but thanks for that, I guess. But I mean, it did really impress me. I've never heard it anywhere else before, so. London company. Okay. Farmed by a Dutchman. Okay. What? Huh. That's weird. I mean, that is kind of curious in a way, but whatever, man. You have any name on that Dutchman by any chance? I mean, if you're gonna like roll out the entire Wikipedia on this weird little factoid, you might as just, well, roll it all out then, or an Uncle Wumble. Me here. Okay. Never heard of it before. Doesn't ring any bells. Then again, I've never really inquired about that song before. Everybody seems to have computer problems. Well, it comes and goes in waves. Blue-pilled evolution, but yes, I've noticed it. Oh, Benjamin had some issues recently, and InfoWars, they had a whole weird blackout one time, not too long ago. So yeah, there is issues, but I mean, that literally comes and goes with waves, and it happens everywhere when it does. I've seen it. That's not a new thing. That's been happening for years. Earth is changing. No, it's not. It's just a bug storm. It's basically an electric thing, I think. Like a field change, and then everything just starts to get out of phase and buggy. You're on your backup computer? Okay. Earth is electric. No. Earth is dirt. Now, there is electricity here. It's everywhere. Through everything. But Earth is not electric. It's dirt. Rock. It has a huge plug. That's hilarious. Has measurable current. Yeah, sure. But I mean, yeah, electricity is a part of the realm, and it's a part of life, very much arguably. I mean, no electricity, no life. Life is electric. Okay? That should be very telling. But I mean, Earth itself is not electric. It's not like it's a computer program that runs on electricity or something. Okay? But yeah, there's electric activity all over the place. I mean, how else are the freaking holographic celestials gonna manifest? Right? They're not any burning things in locations, so if there's just a manifestation, there's got to be power in order to feed that manifestation. So there is electricity. There has to be, because we have the sunlight. There's no other way it could manifest. There has to be electric power somewhere, somehow, in the system to do that. Computer just stopped booting up. Oh, that's... wow. That sucks. Yeah, hey, how about I don't care, dude? How about not bringing up stupid shit? Oops, that was the wrong button. Just, no. Yeah, I don't need to know about frickin' cringy shit. Yeah, don't bring up stupid shit here. I don't want to hear about, oh, did you hear this stupid shit? How about cool things? Something good, yeah? I like to bring up things that are good, that are inspiring, that you could learn something from, that could turn into a valuable, treasured memory, yeah? Shitty things will not turn into treasured memories. They will simply turn into fertilizer. That is very forgettable. So just don't bring up bullshit. I mean, there's already trolls out there that try to bring up bullshit. I don't need regular visitors to start doing that too. Okay? So take 5. Yeah, and I know all the new popular music is horrendous. I haven't heard any kind of pop song in recent years that is not just straight out horrendous. Who are you talking to? The guy just timed out. DeFrank. Everything's electric. Yeah, I mean, it's just, oh, everything, it's all this, it's all that. It's just stupid unification theorist again. Not a hippy dippy wannabe scientist fantasist again. Oh, it's all one. Oh, we got the unified theory. It's all this, it's all that. Yeah, how about nothing is all one thing? How about that? How about it's not all one thing? How about that for a realization of knowledge, yeah? It's not all one thing. How about that? Huh? How about that? Not all one thing. What are you gonna do? Oh, but then I can't squirt and feel almighty spiritual then. Oh. Well, maybe you shouldn't waste your time with that nonsense. Stupid unification theorists. I hate it. It's stupid. It never works. It's always wrong. Every time. It's all this. It's all just one spectrum. No, it's not. Yeah, it never is. Nothing is. It's not all one thing. Right? There's one unifying aspect of all things, is that everything is not one thing. That's the one thing that binds everything together, is that it's not one thing. You get it? That's what everything has in common, that it's not all one thing. Okay? I can't stand those stupid blabbermouth, hippy dippy wannabe scientist talks. It's all this, oh, it's the electric universe, it's all electric, oh, it's all a hologram, it's all fake, it's all just stupid. Have you ever considered that if you think like that, you're just wrong? Have you ever considered that you could just be wrong and that you're just stupid for wanting to unify everything into one fucking thing, which you can't. Yet you keep trying, like a stubborn idiot that thinks they're brilliant. You can't. You can't do that. Doesn't work. It never works. People might get fascinated for a while, and then it might bring up a cult people that think that way, but it never works because it's never true. Everything is not one thing. It never is. It's always a combination of different contrasting things. The only unification about all things is that everything is separated, and it isn't all the same thing. Right? Just because there's a resemblance, there's an echo, there's a pattern between it all, doesn't mean it's all one thing. It just means it all connects through patterns. And the patterns can be derived, and then you can mathematically reduce it to like one thing. It's completely pointless. It's just the strive for unification because you can't have any differences. Your ego won't have it. You all want to be one thing, world peace. It's just the same bullshit as those people that start whining about world peace. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. There is no world peace. Doesn't work that way. Can't. Stop trying to build things that can't be. Because everybody wants it. Because they're stupid. They want to deal with the complexions of reality. The complexities. Everything is its own frequency, measurable. Yeah, so? Do you even know what that means? Frequency of what? I mean, does everything have its own frequency? Really? I mean, I know there's such a thing as resonance, and like material can have a resonation point, right? It's like, oh, and if you have a certain sound that's exactly on its frequency, then you can like destroy it even, or strengthen it. There's a whole lore, a healing lore surrounding that my father actually uses with equipment based on that. Yeah. Guess what? There's some things that don't have a frequency, yeah? Right? So, why don't you try to find a resonance frequency of light or electricity? Yeah? Doesn't apply. Why? Because it's non-substantial. It's like, it's non-material. That resonance only really applies if it has a body to resonate. Yeah, if it doesn't have that, there's nothing resonating. So it doesn't apply to all things. You just overgeneralized again. Yeah? Hippy dippy unification bullshit. Yes, 60 hertz. Yeah, you know what that means? That means in how they are unleashing it. Yeah? That doesn't mean that electricity itself has a frequency. It just means the machinery utilizing it is deploying it at a frequency, a certain types of intervals that are being actively placed there. Yeah? That doesn't mean that the electricity itself is a frequency, has a frequency. It's the way man is using it. They're employing frequency. A system. Man-made. You see? See my point? I mean, you could name anything. Name anything. Nothing is the same. There is no unification. There's not one thing that everything shares. Nothing. There's not anything that is shared by everything. There is no such thing. Alright? Except for God being the creator. But I mean, that is even frickin' disputable. I mean, what? Did he create the water out of nothing? Did he create material out of nothing? Or didn't he? Did he just arrive in material and then reshape it? Yeah? We don't know! So it's unresolved. So you just never know. There is no one trait that connects all things. There isn't any. Yeah, I'm gonna put it in the frickin' title, man. Unification, hippy dippy bullshit theories. And there will arguably be people that are gonna say, oh, you're projecting again, Arwin. Of course. And I'll be the first to detect that, but I don't give a fuck. Because at least I try to make sense out of my theories and then keep them lasting. It's not just something to entertain me in the moment. Even though it technically is, but even when I do it, it's like, yeah, but it's gonna have to be able to be compatible with the future. It's gonna have to be fractal, right? My point is that I used to be a huge unification hippy dippy bullshit theorist. I loved it. Everything. I did it with everything. I did every time. Like, oh, you see, there's this overall unifying factor. It's all one. It's all one. I had to fucking do that all the time. It's really annoying in retrospect. But yeah. I mean, it's taken me decades to figure out, like, hey, maybe that's just a fucking waste of time. Because every time I see anybody else doing it, it's always a waste of time. So maybe I should just not do that anymore. And I don't. I don't do it like that. I try to find connections. I try to build, but I don't automatically assume it's going to be it's the unifying. We found it. The unifying factor. Yeah, there isn't any. And every time people try that, it just turns everything retarded. Yeah? Just like with this stupid assumption that it's all one spectrum, right? From light to radio to blah. It's all one thing. No, it's not. It isn't. It's not the same thing. You're just overgeneralizing it with your unification, hippy dippy bullshit theorizing. That's what they've been doing. Right. So that, I guess that's going to be the theme of this second part of my show. It is a thing. I mean, I've been pointing at it for a while. It really, the real aggravated part started when it started to aggravate me was really with, like, when I started to figure out the confusion about the stupid light spectrum thing and the claim that radio is just light. It was just that, and that means because radio is a wave, then it means that light is also have to be a wave, and ether. See, that fucking unification bullshit. It leads to bullshit, like ether. You get it? Unification theories lead to aberrations. That's even a better title. But I like the hippy dippy bullshit series part though. I like to say it like that. But unification leads to aberrations is also a good saying. It's true. Right? Unification leads to dead ends. Leads to dead ends that prove that it isn't unified, but people insist that it is unified, so they corner off the issues, like put it in a corner so you don't pay attention, and it turns into a massive aberration. People bump into it, they're like, yeah, but of course it's like this that we assume, but why this, right? Just like with the stupid dark matter, dark energy. It has to be there or gravity makes no sense. Well, you can't assume that gravity just doesn't make any sense. So we have to figure out what this dark matter has to be that has to exist or gravity wouldn't exist. Right? Aberration. That's an aberration. You're wrong and you just can't see how you're wrong. So you can end up with weird, seemingly paradoxical things. It's just an aberration. You were just wrong. Usually in the entire premise. Right? That's why you should avoid unification, hippy dippy bullshit theorizing. You'll just end up with aberrations. Like gravity, like the light ether, total horseshit. That's what happens. It's a direct result of unification theorizing. You can prove it. You can literally trace it. You can trace it out there. Like, who came up with what? What came out of that? Oh, guess where they're ending up? Guess where they're ending up? Ether, gravity. Oh, yes. Oh, is that a coincidence? No. Because that's the end result of unification theorizing. Yeah? This is a big one. This is a big leave my flag in the ground mark realization. Yeah? Unification theorizing leads to aberrations. I have proof. Historical. It's there. If we assume it becomes real in the mind. Yeah, but it's not real though. Nothing becomes real in the mind. You either believe something or you don't. You trust it or you don't. It's not real in the mind. Not actually. It's a feeling of real. And the feeling of real isn't real. It's just a feeling of real. It's a separate thing. Have you known anyone who can read minds? Yeah. Me? Some other people don't really remember. But it's not like, oh, can you just look at him and read their mind? Oh, okay, I'm gonna look now. No, it doesn't work like that. It's, you get tuned in and then you can get to the telepathic connection. But it's conditional. It doesn't, you can't just turn it on like a machine, scan somebody and extract information. It doesn't just work like that. You gotta connect with them, be able to connect with them, and then you can become telepathically interfaced. Yeah? So again, yeah, very funny, Moxie. It doesn't work that way. That's right. Glad you get it, Saint Solo. Right? And people that don't think they can do that too, under the right circumstances, yeah? It's not uncommon at all that if you're in love with somebody and you're really connecting with them, that you have weird telepathic effects. During the in love period especially. That's not uncommon, guys. I mean, it's just like, oh, they're just in love, they're really connected. That's what people say, but yeah, it does actually border telepathic activity. It really does. I mean, if you're really in love, and you're like with somebody, you can feel what they're feeling at a distance when you don't even see them. I could anyway. Right? And dogs do it all the time. I mean, dogs can literally feel just like, what is it? Somebody's coming home. And they can feel them at, like, on the other side of the street. That's kind of telepathic. Or tele-empathic, perhaps. It is a feeling at a distance. Right? It's not the reading of information from somebody's cognitive mind, somebody's consciousness. It's the feelings that are actually much easier to read at a distance. Right? Well, that would be classified under empathy. But it is kind of like telepathy, but with feelings. Right? And you got to know what it is you're reading. If you don't recognize the patterns of what you're reading, then it's just going to be like a mystery to you anyway. You might read it, but you don't understand what you're reading, so there's no point then. It's just like looking at it. You can't figure it out then. Right? You have to figure out what the call signs are of telepathic activity in order to recognize the impulses, to know what it actually is that is going on, to recognize, not just, oh, it's something random happening. No, you have to understand what is happening, why does it happen, how does it happen with that type of person in those types of circumstance, and then cross-reference it to every fucking thing else that you ever experienced like that. Right? And then you can know eventually when you have enough of those types of experiences collected and ordered, put orderly together into one file in your head. What the fuck are you talking about, Moxie? What? Right. Anyway, I hope you guys are enjoying the show. People that have still were able to find it after my internet died. Right. But yeah, if you really want to make actual durable, long-term, fractally integrated progress with yourself and your own development, avoid unification, hippy-dippy bullshit theories. It's a very serious recommendation there. Because ever since, like, it literally released me from delusion after I stopped doing that. It does. Yeah? And I can recognize people that are typically in that delusion over unification, hippy-dippy bullshit theories. Right? When you think about it like that distinctly, you might also recognize, hey, that person is a unification, hippy-dippy bullshit theorist. That person does that. Because they all do it. They don't even know each other, perhaps. They might be doing it in a whole different field, but they're always doing that. They're always chasing that aberration that comes as a side effect of their over-unification. Huh? Pay attention to that. See it. You'll figure out I'm correct about this. Right. Right? And you know how it all starts. It all started with, we're all one, man. Just peace, bruh. We're all one, dude. Just chill, man. It's all one. Oh, the scientists are figuring out it's all one, man. That's where this bullshit all started. It's the freaking hippie revolution fault. Hippy, dippy, bullshit unification theory. They did that. They implanted that in the culture. They made it normal. It even just made its way through popular culture, for crying out loud. It infected the colloquial science even. Now it's all about stupid unification bullshit theories. Like all the astrophysicist idiots online, they also all do that in their own thing, right? Continually. Always about, oh, how do we unify the math? Oh. Yes, it's the same movement, the same thing, the same process. It's all unification, hippy, dippy, bullshit theorizing. All one. We're all one, man. That's what that is. It's literally that. That's where it comes from. It was planted as an idea in a culture aimed at youth who are seeking to connect things up to understand everything better. And then, as a newbie, you have the impulse, like, oh, I need to unify everything that I've learned. It's very logical. But as you grow older, you definitely should be figuring out that, yeah, all the things that you thought were connected aren't really that all connected. It's just connecting in some ways, not in all ways. And that it's everything a gigantic clusterfuck of endless amounts of things that aren't really connected, but seem somewhat connected. And then it's really heavy on the mind if you really try to connect it, and you can't. If you get serious with unification, you go at a dead end. That's why there isn't any theory of all things, yet people keep going after that, chasing after the dragon, never catching it. It's an aberration. And you end up believing an aberration. It has to be there. Because why else would everything seemingly fit into place? Even though it doesn't really, but you just oversimplified it in your mind because you really wanted that to be. You chased that dragon. You believed it has to be unified. It's just up to you to figure out how. Yeah, chasing a dragon. Following an aberration. It's not real. They planted it in the culture, aiming at youth, at teenagers and adolescents that are really trying to make their way in the world and spend a lot of time trying to unify things, to move beyond. But if you get stuck in that, then you're just doing that, and you don't really understand things for what they are anymore. You just spend all your time unifying theorizing. Unification theorizing. That's what you end up with, and you don't integrate. You don't actually learn to get it. You don't learn that, yeah, it doesn't make actual sense. It doesn't actually connect up, and that's okay. Because you can still learn a lot from everything. And maybe, by some random happenstance, you might actually get some brilliant oversight about it all. That you definitely wouldn't have seen when you were younger. And going after the unification theorizing, yeah, doing that. That definitely didn't help. Every old person that's ever done that knows that it never leads to anything. That it's chasing a dragon in your mind. They all know that. If they can't remember it. Right? right? The point is that the only way to really complete a unification theory is to realize that nothing is unified, and then find the unification within the disunification. And then it gets really frustrating. Because what is really the pattern of how it is ununified then? Yeah, you get very ethereal at that point. And I wonder if you could even attempt to express such things mathematically. I don't even know. But the point is that just in your mind, trying to find how it's all unified into one always leads to a dead end. It never works, ever, with anything, in any direction. You never really truly end up with the one thing that unifies it all. You never do. Almost, perhaps, but not really, though. And then later development will show you that it's even less than you thought it was at the time. It always happens. Alright, anyway, I think I'm going to round out the show. Unless somebody has some real in-content response to share with me. And not talk about completely different things that have nothing to do with what I'm talking about. Maybe you're all just feeling really frustrated for realizing how many times you've been striving after unification nonsense. And I made you feel stupid. So you're looking for something else to talk about. That's reasonable. Fair enough, you know. I kind of suddenly unrolled this. But it is a long-term issue. It's a collective psychological issue that needs to be seen through. So you can find the way through. And not just keep repeating the same types of mistaken process over generations. You need to overcome that. Alright. Anyway, I hope you appreciated it. Maybe it made you think. Maybe you have some ideas about it. Make sure to leave a comment about it. If you're really about what I'm talking about right now, the unification hippy dippy bullshit theorizing problem and the aberrations, if you have some ideas about there or something to relate to it, or you have, well, if you disagree, good luck with that. You might want to try lay that down, but I will be able to point out how it isn't unified after all. Trust me on that. Or you could try whatever, but leave a comment about it. In content, in subject, in content comments. I really appreciate those. For the listeners that listen afterward, not during the live show. Anyway. So yeah, please leave a comment if you can. And I will probably bring up this concept in the future as well. Because it is a long-term... It's basically the continuation of the discovery of the concept of aberration, right? Which started with gravity for me. It's the discovery of it. Like, this is an aberration. But I mean, what is that entire process? How did it come to that? Well, unification theorizing. That's my conclusion. Because you can literally point at it and then see it happening. So I'm breaking in new depths, further continued research on the conception of aberrations to the mind. And yeah, I'll keep you posted if I figure out more details of it. Right. Multiple frequencies, but that's all just light though, and light is not really frequency. Frequency is a model for light. Yeah, the whole light frequency, it's a model. It's not actually a frequency. There's nothing moving. It's just an interpretation. Right? There's no thing that's actually being a frequency there. It's only a model. Did you know that, George Sanford? Did you know that frequencies for light is only a model? It's not literally a frequency. Did you know that? Yeah. It's not moving. There's no thing that's moving. Frequency requires movement. Yeah? Light doesn't have substance to move. It doesn't move. It manifests. It doesn't even have speed. It doesn't travel, so it doesn't move. They just call it frequency. They don't know what that is. They know it's on a spectrum. They don't know what it is. They just call it frequency. Okay? Do you realize that, George Sanford? Do you? Or am I talking complete abracadabra for you now? Because I've brought this up before on my shows. Or just say nothing and leave it there. Whatever. Right, anyhow. Thanks everyone for coming. I hope you liked this show. If you did, then please don't forget to Rogans it up. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell notification so you know when I'm going live, which is normally 1 p.m. Amsterdam time in the weekdays and 2 p.m. Amsterdam time in the weekend. And please also do support me through the PayPal, Patreon. That would be much appreciated, and I can always use the support. Even though, yeah, LVA Paul, great. Thank you so much for the donation. That was really needed also, but I'm doing good again thanks to that. Right, so I'll be back tomorrow with Flat Earth Early Bird number 1571, which will be on a Saturday, so it's going to be 2 p.m. Amsterdam time then. Hope to see you all there. And yeah, no Flat Earth Debate live, but yeah, I might see you around like in chats, premieres, or on Flatzoids live or something. So until the next video, keep it flat.